Welcome in. We're going to talk a little bit about the 49ers again today. Old school versus new school and everything that is going on right now with no mini camp, no practices at the moment, which is kind of strange. Let's go ahead and just dive right in. Got my best San Francisco sweatshirt on down here in Tampa. But anyway, uh, LA Rams get Myles Garrett, and a lot of people are wondering if we're even contenders this year. 2026, I believe, is going to be a tough year, and everybody talks about the Rams, how they are always making these big moves, but they're going to fall apart next year. How many times have they actually fallen apart in the last 7 or 8 years? I think they've only had one down season when they make these all-in moves to try to actually win the Super Bowl. Um, is that the stature that we need to follow? Is that the new league standard? Um, I guess, we're going to learn more this year, but it really seems to be a smart decision. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. Is Purdy elite? What our supporting cast looks like this year? Maybe Maxx Crosby and some turnover worthy plays from Brock, and maybe talk a little bit about Mac and Curtis Rourke. Actually, we can maybe dive right into that. We'll go Brock Purdy. Is Brock Purdy elite? I would say no. I think some people would say yes. I think if you look at all the stats, and if you only go off of stats, Brock Purdy has some good numbers, and he has had a good supporting cast for a long time to help those numbers get there. But I also believe a lot of his throws are anticipated. He can't see over the line, as he's even said. That's why he likes those taller receivers, which him and Mike Evans might be one hell of a matchup this year. But the guy just can't move. And like he can't see the guys moving is what I mean to say. The guys are out there and he just cannot hit them unless he knows that they're going to be there. So it's kind of weird. When he's trying to actually make plays from the pocket and he can't see where he's throwing, he throws a lot of interceptions. I believe in the last 4 or 5 years, Brock Purdy has the most fourth quarter interceptions ever. As far as these years go, not ever. I think he's leading fourth quarter INTs, which is not a good thing, obviously. But the guy can scramble. The guy has legs. I don't think he has a very good arm. But I'm not a quarterback. If anything, I was wide receiver. I'm 6'8", 210 pounds. Um, let's see. We got some guys asking some questions here. Steve Bono, do professional football players get paid, win or lose? They sure do. It's kind of a interesting analogy or even topic, isn't it? That these guys get paid millions and millions and millions of dollars and still drive Lamborghinis home to their mansions and whatever else, right? Good to see you guys in the chat. That's awesome. Appreciate you being here. Am I good? Am I good at football? Maybe once upon a time. I'm pretty good at construction. I'm a Class A driver now. I'm a pretty decent driver. I drive for a septic company, so I deal with shit all day. It's actually awesome. Anyway, let's go back to 49ers. I appreciate you guys here. If you guys want to join in and talk about anything, I am more than willing to actually have a back and forth with you guys. You want to ask questions, let's talk about it. Let's bring up some topics. Help me out here. We can go back to talking about Purdy for a second. The guy has legs. You put him next to Mac this last year. I believe Mac actually in the pocket is a better quarterback. Now, I don't believe Mac has legs like Purdy. I do believe Mac has a better arm than Purdy. I think Mac can hit people outside the numbers on the sidelines where Purdy really can't. I believe Mac can hit people way downfield where Purdy really can't. But Purdy, his anticipation, his legs, some of the stuff, that one play last year where he hit Juice on the side, where he had to run around and scramble and then dip a guy and dip another guy and hit Juice. That was actually really awesome. I mean, everybody called that Mahomes-esque. It was a great quarterback play. It really was. But is he always like that? Does he elevate the team in the fourth quarter? Does he elevate the team? I don't think so. He throws a lot of ints when he gets pressured, and I think it's just kind of part of what he does. But the biggest question is, how long are we going to keep him? Is he going to be on the team past 2026? Um, is he going to so in 2028, I believe it's April 1 of 2028, his $55 million is guaranteed. Is he gonna be able to are the Niners gonna be able to afford to pay him $55 million if he's putting up the numbers that he's been putting up currently? Um, I do not. I mean, this is all up to speculation, obviously. I do not believe that Purdy would have won that game last year against the Rams. Mac played phenomenally. Kyle coaches differently when Mac is in the game, I've noticed. And Kyle went to Mac before that game and said, "Hey, all these haters are saying that we're going to lose. Are you going to allow that to happen?" Like, that was, I don't know, I've never heard of him doing that with really anybody else. And Mac played his heart out. And the guy's tough. I mean, he's not a huge guy, but man, he gets hit and he gets back up and he keeps playing through pain and everything else. Um, Purdy's been out a lot. He's not, I don't want to say he's not reliable, but it just seems like he's been injury prone. And I know that's a tough word, but it is what it is. Um, let's go on to LA Rams. LA Rams picked up Myles Garrett. Everybody knows, it's the best defensive lineman or defensive guy in the league, and he's going to our division rival. NFC West is going to be tough this year, but now it's going to be even tougher. So with Myles Garrett on the Rams, what do the Niners do? Are the Niners even contenders in 2026 at this present moment? I would say against the Seahawks, maybe, because the Seahawks I think went down just a little bit this year. Um, I still believe they're better than the Niners, but at least maybe it's a little bit closer. But I think the Rams just really elevated themselves out of contention with the Seahawks and the Niners. And I don't. We could talk about the Cardinals. They haven't really done a lot in recent years. Maybe they changed it up this year, but NFC West is going to be a tough division. I mean, it was last year. I believe all three, Seahawks, Rams, and Niners were all in the playoffs. That's kind of unheard of, so that was cool. Um, but how do we contend with a Myles Garrett trade, or do we? Do the Niners go all in ever in the Kyle Shanahan regime? Have they gone all in ever in the last 30 years, 26 years? Since we've won a Super Bowl in '96. I mean, but when was the change of ownership? '99, 2000, when Eddie D had to give it over to Jed. Have they ever gone all in? I don't believe so. I mean, we've had some years where we've gotten some good players and we've really pushed, but I don't know if we've thrown it all at the wall to see what sticks and then gone for even more. 2023, we had the best team in the league, still didn't win. It was an amazing team. I don't know if you want to say that we went all in that year, but I think we could have done more. But maybe that's also just play calling. Um, Everybody's talking about for us to match with the Rams right now, that we have to do something even greater, or at least even, right? I mean, try to make a comparable trade. So who else is out there? Maxx Crosby. Maxx Crosby didn't pass his physical last time, but can we actually pick him up? Is it a possibility? I just heard something from my guy about a trade. Um, Supposedly this guy is out here. I don't remember the guy that's actually talking about it, but I picked it up. But it's out there. It's in the news that they're saying if the Niners give up a first, a second, and Mykel Williams, that we could get Maxx Crosby. That seems awful steep to me because Mykel Williams was just picked up with one of our firsts. So in theory, you're basically asking for 2 firsts and a second. And he's saying that Mykel Williams is elite or not yet. I believe the guy is very impressive, and I believe he has talent that can be projected into making him excellent. Um, I don't, I don't know. Obviously, he got hurt. We'll see what happens, but he seems good. Um, I believe we need more out here, though. We have to have something else on this defensive line. Um, do we get Crosby? Do we go after Sweat? We have to do something. We have to do more. So I don't know if trading Mykel Williams and trying to go after Crosby is the deal, but I believe Crosby is probably one of the hardest hitting guys out there. And I believe he has more of a drive than Nick Bosa. But I believe if Nick Bosa is coming back healthy and we also had Maxx Crosby, then it's a very defense. Um, what do you guys think about no minicamp? What do you guys think about Kyle making these practices shorter and canceling minicamp? I really just don't understand it. When I used to watch the Niners practice in the 90s, they would do two-a-days in the heat over in California in Rockland every day. I mean, these guys are just pouring sweat but working their asses off. And now Kyle like lets them just run back inside to get in the AC so they don't even have to practice. So I really don't understand that. It kind of just blows my mind. But is he doing it to save players? I noticed Ricky Pearsall wasn't out there when they were practicing. Um, Mike Evans is out there. George Kittle seems like he's actually healing. Seems like he's on the right track. I don't know if he's going to be back week one like they say, but I think if anybody can do it, he's really tackling his recovery really well. So that's awesome. I mean, I love George. I think he's a true Niner. George and Fred are probably our oldest tenured besides Juice, but Juice was brought on from the Ravens a long time ago. So he's not drafted from the Niners. I don't believe he's a true Niner. Would would Eddie D do any of the same things that the Niners have done in the last 26 years? I think I'm going to probably talk about that every single time I get on stream, at least a little bit. Right now, there's nobody asking questions, but if you did have anything, have you been alive long enough to remember the Eddie D era? And if so, what do you think about the 90s Niners in comparison to now? Who is your favorite coach in the last 30 years, 26 years? Who's gotten us the furthest? Is Shanahan the best? Was it Harbaugh? Was it Nolan? I mean, Singletary, we have a lot of different people we could talk about when it comes to that. I mean, Tom Sula, you like him, Kelly. Um, really, I mean, there's some good things from everybody and some bad things from everybody, obviously. Um, my biggest question, I guess, this year is how old our team is, and our core the guy that I mean, I guess what Grant calls them the Cabo Click. It really is that, but there's more than just the people that go to Cabo Click. That are the core, the old guys that are really been around for a long time, and they're really, I mean, not producing at a high level like they used to. Christian McCaffrey I mean, he was excellent last year. He stayed healthy, but he's still not producing the yards he used to. So people don't like it when you say he's fallen off or whatever. But can we compare stats and yards to his earlier years? And if you do that, h- how do you say, what would you say in comparison? Has he fallen off, or is he getting old, or just had a rough year, or defense is getting better? I mean, how do you justify it? I would say the same thing for a lot of the Niners players. I mean, our core that Kyle is hanging on to is just getting older, and they think their Super Bowl window is still open, and maybe it still is. But if our Super Bowl window is open, What do we have to do to get there? Do we need Maxx Crosby? Do we need Brandon Ayuk? Do we need Mac Jones or Curtis Rourke? Curtis Rourke, I guess sometimes he looks great, and then other times in the practices he doesn't look good at all. I really think that guy has potential, but at the same time, I worry. Um, you compare him to Mendoza, he's same stats in college, same build, same pretty much everything, but was one of the last picks, or was UDFA, and Mendoza was the first pick of the draft. So that's kind of interesting to me. It feels like there's got to be some serious fall off between the two, but different years of the draft, different players are more important. Um, Pearsall, again, I think I said earlier, Pearsall was not on the field this last couple of weeks. So, what do we say about him? I mean, is he glass? Is he going to be able to stay out there and stay healthy this year? Is he going to be on the field for 17 games or six, 17? Or is he going to be injured for 10 of them? Um, I'm not sure about Pearsall. I believe he can run routes. I believe he's quick, and I believe he has great hands. But is he actually going to be on the field for 17 games? What do you say? Mike Evans. Is he here to replace Pearsall? Is he here to run concurrent with Pearsall? One an X and one a Y? I think Mike Evans is going to be a very good addition to this team. I don't know if Purdy can get him the balls downfield the way that he likes, because Mike Evans is very much an over the shoulder kind of player. I mean, he likes to just put it right here and I'll keep on running. And can Purdy throw very accurate over 25 yards? Can he put it in there with any kind of speed over 25 yards? Um, I think we've seen a Hail Mary from him last year, which was the furthest I've ever seen him throw a ball, and it was 45 yards, and I was impressed. I've never seen him actually drop it that far, but again, he has to really loft it to get it there. I don't think the guy has a very strong arm. I don't think he would have. I mean, I compare everything to Eddie D's Niners. That's what the name of the channel is. So would Purdy have been on Eddie D's Niners? How would you compare him to Montana? How would you compare him to Steve Young? Can he run like Steve? I think Steve was a better scrambler, maybe not as quick immediately, but Steve was able to hit people and keep on going, where I think Purdy's a little more fragile. Um, I believe the whole NFL and league has changed in that time, so I don't know if you can even compare players from 30 years ago to now because of the rules that are different for the quarterback and how you can hit them and everything else. So it's kind of hard to compare a league from 30 years ago to now, even though it's the same league. But that being said, are the Niners on track? Are the Niners going to be in the playoffs in 2026? Where do we fall short? Where do we excel this year? I think we all need to see a little bit more of what's going on. And, well, I guess there's no more minicamp, but in OTAs and everything that's coming up, um, it's going to be interesting to see if we can actually do better than we did last year. I mean, we did pretty good last year. Now that our whole league or our whole conference is elevated, can we do just as good or no? Are we going to be even? Are we going to be 6-10 like we did 2 years ago, 6-11, or are we going to be 12-5? Or are we going to be somewhere in the middle? Or are we going to be higher? Are we going to make it to the Super Bowl? Is it possible for the Niners to make it to the Super Bowl? Why do we have so much cap space? We have over 71, $72 million in cap space right now. Are they trying to bring somebody on? I know there's a lot more money that we have to pay out next year to a lot of these guys that are getting guarantees, and they are trying to change, keep pushing back contracts to create more cap space, which is good for now, but it's not good for later. But Parag seems to be really good with the numbers. We've all talked crap about him throughout the years, but he really does seem to be good at these contracts and getting people paid the right amount of money so they can use money going forward. Um, I think the biggest question we're gonna leave the show on is, are the Niners going to be contenders this year? And if so, what is the move that we make to get us there? Or are we already there? Is there a big move coming? Is it Maxx Crosby? Is it Sweat? What are we doing now or in the next month or two to get us elevated in 2026? Is Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, Fred Warner, Malik, are these Michael? Are these guys going to be there? Romello Height, are Kalen Black? Are they going to be players on the field this year? Is everybody going to be healthy this year? Are we going to be able to do good with what we have, or do we need somebody else? I would appreciate you guys leaving some feedback on this video. Tell me what you think about what we need to do going forward, what the Niners absolutely need in 2026. What is our biggest need right now? Do we need another wide receiver, or do we need a defensive end? I'm going to leave you guys with that one. You let me know what you think. I hope you guys like and subscribe, and have a great weekend.